Hello and welcome to Big Orbit Games unboxing video of the new Star Wars Armada Wave 2 Rogues and Villains expansion pack. My name is Simon and I'm going to be opening this up now. As much fun as it'd be to sit and watch me cut this, here's one I opened earlier. So this is the Rogues and Villains pack. You get 4 new Squadron ships for each faction, 4 for the Imperials, 4 for the Rebels. For each one you get the generic version and also a hero version of them. So, just quickly show you. On the inside here we have the contents list. Always useful to have a quick look through. You get loads of new ships in here. There's no upgrade cards because you get 16 Squadron cards. Loads of Squadron cards. And loads of little plastic ships. So, you get 4 for each faction. So, let's see if we can do this off the top of my head. So for the Rebels you get the YT1300, gee, it's there, YT2400, the Moldy Crow, and also the, now this one's going to get me, no, I'm going to have to double check, and also the Havoc, is it the Havoc that I was mentioning? I think it was the Havoc, yeah. And then for the Imperials, you get Slave 1, Boba Fett's iconic ship, Helm's Tooth, IG-2000, and the Punishing One. Now most of those should, if anyone watching plays X-Wing, most of those should be recognisable, because a lot of them have appeared in X-Wing, and it's a hint of possibly what's going to be coming in the next wave for X-Wing. So you have all your necessary tokens here. Because we have characters, we do have defense tokens for them, so you get all the defense tokens you can need, and all the squadron discs there as well. You can see here some of these new squadrons have quite a tasty amount of health, 7 HP on those. Means they're not going down without a fight. And then we have in here the actual cards and a few more defense tokens. So these are all just I forgot the name of this one. I'm going to have to look at the cheat sheet to remind myself. Oh, it doesn't remind me. I've forgotten the name of those ones. Is it Brace? I want to say it's Brace. I feel really bad now that I can't remember. Yes, it's Brace. Sorry, Brace and Scatter. There we go. So, let's have a look at the cards. We'll go through from the top. So we have here the YT1300. Most people will know it as the Millennium Falcon. So speed of 2, so it's slow, but 7 hull, 3 anti-squadron dice, which is nice, but only 1 blue against ships, remembering crits don't count. It does have counter 1, so when it gets attacked, it can roll the dice back at its opponent, even if it's destroyed. And escort, so squadrons it's engaged with cannot attack squadrons that lack escort unless doing a counter attack. So it can keep bombers basically alive, the heavy ships. So for the character we have Han Solo in the Millennium Falcon, of course. Flies a bit faster at speed 3. He also upgrades his anti-squadron dice to 2 blue, 2 black, so 4 dice in total, and then anti-ship is 2 dice, blue and black. At the start of the ship phase, you may activate him as if he was activated by a squadron command, so he can activate after the squadrons, before the squadrons, which is pretty cool. Also, he has grit. He's not prevented from moving whilst engaged by only 1 squadron. And rogue, he can move and attack during the squadron phase, which is very nice. YT2400 is the next one. It should be recognisable to those of you who've played X-Wing. Speed 4, so much faster than the Falcon. 6 hull, 4 anti-squadron, 1 ship dice, and just rogue on there. He can move and attack in the squadron. Then we have the Dash Rendar in the Outrider as the character for that. He has Bomber and Rogue, so Bomber allows him to use his crits to deal a damage and a critical effect to ships when targeting them. And his ability, while attacking, you may reroll 1 die for each enemy squadron or enemy ship at distance 1. So the more he's surrounded, the better he gets. We have the Hawk 290, which has counter 2 and intel. So counter 2 is just a slightly improved version of counter 1, surprisingly. It gets 2 dice instead of 1. Intel, while an enemy squadron is at distance 1 of you, it has heavy. So that's a cool little interaction. Speed of 3, only full hull though, only 2 anti-squadron dice and only 1 ship dice. and at 12 points it is a little bit lackluster. But then we have the Janors in the Mouldy Crow. So while a friendly ship at distance 1 to 2 is defending, it can spend your defense tokens. So this is very much a support squadron, something we haven't really seen in this capacity before. Also, it's counter 2 and intel, same as the normal Hawk. Then we have the Skirg H6 bomber. So this is quite new to these and is hopefully a sign of what's to come in X-Wing. So it has bomber, grit and heavy on the standard version. Not many dice on there, but it does have the 2 dice for the anti-ship, speed of 3 and hull of 6. And then we have Nim in the Havoc. So he retains all the same abilities, retains the same stats, but he loses heavy and in return gets blue crit icons. If the defender is a ship, you may choose and discard one of its defense tokens. That is punishing ability. Absolutely punishing. Then we have the Fire Spray 31. Very iconic. Speed 3, speed 6, 3 anti-squadron, 2 anti-ship with bomber and rogue. And of course, Boba Fett in the Slave 1. He keeps bomber and rogue and adds into the mix. When you activate, choose one enemy ship or squadron at distance 1. That ship or squadron suffers a damage. Not just squadron, ship. Choose a ship at distance 1 of him. That is absolutely brutal ability. He hits 26 points, but very brutal. We have the YV666, grit, heavy and rogue. Lots of hull there at 7 and anti-squadron dice, but unfortunately only 2 speed. And then we have Bosk in the Houndstooth version of the YV666. He has grit and rogue still, but loses heavy and gains 1 attacking if you have 6 or fewer hull points remaining. You can add 1 blue dice set to the Axie icon to your attack pool. So this can be useful, once he's been damaged, it can be useful for making sure your attacks go through. We have the Aggressor Assault Fighter. Counter 1 and rogue, speed 3 and only 5 hull, 4 anti-squadron dice though, and 1 black for ships. And then IG-88 in the IG-2000. Upgrades his counter to 2 and keeps rogue. It increases his speed massively to 5, although the same attack dice, but you can ignore escort and counter keywords on enemy squadrons, so this is a very good anti-squadron fighter. Then have the Jumpmaster 5000. So intel and swarm tactics. Oh, just swarm, sorry. This isn't X-Wing. While attacking a squadron engaged with another squadron, you can re-roll 1 die. Speed 4, only full hull, so it's a little weak. And only 2 dice, but he can re-roll 1. And then we have Dengar in the Punishing One. So he has intel and swarm still, but he also gains, while another friendly squadron is at distance 1 to do, it has counter 1 or increases its counter value by 1. So ideally you keep Dengar behind a wave of TIE fighters and make them absolutely horrible. And then last up, we have the miniatures. Now this is going to be interesting to try and show you on camera, because they are so tiny. So pull them out there. So you get lots of stands for putting them on. I'm not going to have to try and fish these out. What I'm going to do, when I can find a stand. So these all come with the individual pegs for them. You don't get more than one of these on a base. So you get individual pegs for each one. So if you give me a moment while I find all of these out. So they are just like the original Squadron miniatures. They are technically colour coded. The Rebel ones in the lighter plastic, the Imperial ones in the darker plastic. Makes it a little bit easier when finding them in a box full of other miniatures. So here we go. So the first two up, we have the Falcon and the Mouldy Crow. So hopefully the camera can zoom in. If not, I'm going to have to hold these like this. There we go. So we have the Falcon there. For a tiny, tiny little miniature, that is very well detailed, I think. And then we have here the Mouldy Crow as well. So you can even see like the little individual ports and stuff on them. And so these things really are tiny. Now you have here the Havoc and the Outrider. Again, trying to get them close enough so you can see the detail on them. Very impressive for such little miniatures. Of course, we have to show you the Imperial ones. Can't be not showing them, could we? I'm just going to pinch the pegs off of these ones. Make that a bit easier there for showing you. So I imagine some of these are going to get used quite heavily in games of Armada. Unfortunately, things like the Moldy Crow I can't see being used too often. The same fate as it suffered in X-Wing, sadly. On the bright side, hopefully, it does mean, though, we should see some of these appear in X-Wing. So the first two up, we have Save One and the Hound's Tooth. So right up against the camera there. So even all the detail on the back of the Save One and the Hound's Tooth, it's all there. I like how the peg as well does give Slave One the vertical look. There we go. Now I'll show you the Punishing One and the Aggressor. So make sure you get the Punishing One with its asymmetrical design. Show them right. So there we go. So yeah, there's the miniatures as well. So that's everything you get in the Rogues and Villains expansion pack. Definitely a good upgrade to get. It gives you some interesting variety for the squadrons, which until now we've had the Wave 1 expansion with the squadrons in, but now you've got some like unique characters and more unique ships. And if you and a friend are Imperial and Rebel split, then you could easily buy one of these packs each and split them, for example. Or if you just want some extra ones, we've got them on the site. So I definitely recommend getting a hold of this just to add some variety to your squadron combat in your games of Armada. So there we go, that is everything in the Star Wars Armada Wave 2 Rogues and Villains expansion pack. Remember, everything you've seen all the way down to the tokens, to the cards, to the miniatures, can be purchased on our website individually at bigorbitcards.co.uk. I hope you've enjoyed watching. Remember to like and subscribe. Join me later where I'll be doing more Wave 2 unboxings, and I'll see you next time. Bye.